What's up, guys? This is Stevie the Great, and you are now tuned to leafybeats.com. Thanks for joining us. Today's lesson is going to be going over tuning your 808. Pretty much, an 808 is a pivotal part of hip hop culture and pretty much just music today. And what is it? It's pretty much just a pitch down sine wave. You can get fancy and layer that with a pulse wave or a saw wave with a low pass filter on it. It's getting into like sound design and mixing. It's a little bit more advanced. Today we're pretty much going to be going over tuning your 808, and even though that may sound rudimental, I have a friend who's he's a pretty good producer. I like a lot of his stuff. It's pretty dope, especially his trap music, and he told me that he never tunes his 808s. He just kind of goes by ear, using his keyboard. He knows like he'll press C and that it's not C, and I'm like, that's crazy. So today we're going to be going over two different ways to tune your 808, and pretty much any instrument. I definitely recommend tuning any instrument. But so today, getting off task, of course, two different ways to tune your 808. There's one way in Fruity Loops that we're going to be going over, and then there's another way that you can use in Logic, that you can use in Reaper, Studio One, pretty much any DAW where you can load a third-party VST. You can use this technique, and that's going to be using Gtune. Gtune is a free VST given to us by GVST. You can download it at their website here. I actually have it pulled up. Let's see. Yep, Gtune. You can actually download it here for free, and you gotta love that. So, once you download it, you just load it up into your effects tray, whatever effect you have it on. Right now we have Beast, 808 Beast on track 22. And 808 Beast, we know we already have it tuned to F, and we're going to go over how to tune that in a second. But Trunk Shaker, we don't have tuned. In Trunk Shaker, we have on track 8. So if we pull up the G tune for that one, that 808. Trunk Shaker, you can see when we press C5, G tune registers A. And that's not what you'd want. If you're like, you have a melody, you have a chord progression, if you know that the root note or the bass note in your in your song is C, and you go to press C, you input the MIDI information for C, and it gives you A, then it just makes your job a little bit more difficult as a producer. Now when we go to Beast, if we open that up, when we press C, you can see that it goes to C, and you can also see that there's like an area here where it can be even more precise than it is, and that that'll get that. Oh, again, that's into taste and mixing, and when you get into more of the refining stage of your song, this is a mixing stage, but this is more of like almost an essential mixing stage, because if you don't tune your 808, you almost can't compose the beat, So, cool. So let's get into it. And the way you do it in Fruity Loops is pretty much the way you're gonna do it in Logic. The only thing that you have a step around is with Gtune, because in Gtune you can't use the Fruity Loops method, and the Fruity Loops method is to get into the Fruity wrapper. So if you don't know how to do that, you pretty much just click this little button here. It'll open it up. You have it minimized. You're gonna open up the Fruity wrapper. You're gonna get into sample settings. Now I'm using FL Studio 12. If you have an older version, the graphical user interface might be different, but all the information is pretty much still the same. So you can, that's all to say, you still have all these buttons here. So you're going to want to get into sample settings. When you can see the waveform for your 808, right click, go down to edit. It's going to bring up the Edison Editor. Right click there, go to regions and pitch regions. And it's going to tell you that the pitch of this 808 is F2 generally. Sometimes you're going to get a situation where there is several different pitches. It might say F2 here and like maybe F sharp, or F flat here and like G here, just as it changes pitch over time, over the transient of the 808. So you just have to kind of use your discretion in those situations, and this is kind of a workaround that you would it does the same thing that Gtune would do in this situation, because pretty much if I were to play Beast, anyway, pressing the wrong one, whatever, it does the same thing. It just lets you know what your root note is, and that's why when we went in here, you have it on G2. And so I can show you the importance of that now in context when we look at the song. So we have the creepy picture in the background. I'm looking for inspiration for a trap song. So we're gonna play it one time through with the 808 tune. We had 808 beats we used. We just put it on a different pattern for tutorial purposes. So we're gonna play it one time through with it tuned and one time through with it not tuned, and you're definitely gonna feel the difference in just the whole feel of the song. So this is just a little sample. What I like to call it is a skeleton. It's got all the essential elements, and from here we pretty much refine. So feel free to give us some feedback. We're definitely always open to inspiration, however it may come. Let's go back to C. You can feel that it still has the bounce, it still has the rhythm, but it doesn't have the same feel, it doesn't have the presence. It sounds muddy, and it's not mixed. The track isn't mixed at all. This is really that's how critical tuning your instruments can be. That's how much of a difference it can be. That's why they say, the devil's in the details. Just a slight click and it sounds so much better. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in today. Please take this message, share it with your friends, and produce beautiful music for the world. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great one. Peace.